What is up, my friends? You are welcome along to another angry match reaction after Liverpool go over to Istanbul and lose by 1-0 to Galatasaray. We take a deficit into the return leg at Anfield, and let's be honest about it, it's what we deserved. We were absolutely awful. The game plan, who knows what it was. Our players, second best in every area of the pitch. Congratulations to Galatasaray and their victory. Don't want to take anything away from them. But yet again, Liverpool have shown that they are not up to it under Arne Slot. We had plenty of chances in that game. We were wasteful in possession over and over again. The game plan, who knows what the hell that was, but it certainly wasn't implemented. We've been shocking. Absolutely shocking. And not many players out on that pitch can leave there with their heads held high. The full-backs were average. The centre-backs were ragdolled by Victor Osimhen. The midfield was non-existent. Mohamed Salah, well, don't get me started on his performance. It's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. It isn't an over-the-top reaction. This is same old, same old. And whatever the manager has to say, it doesn't wash. Because that game was open. That game was end-to-end. The spaces were there. That is the type of game Arne dreams about. Galatasaray didn't come and play with a low block. They came to play football, and that game was there to be won. And we didn't. And yet again, he will come out with some waffle of an excuse. They'll bemoan this, they'll bemoan that. Ultimately, we lost another game of football. That's what this boils down to. He can talk about the chances we created. He can talk about everything that he wants. But ultimately, they look like they just met each other and met up for a game of footy. It was shocking. Anything that you have to say is warranted. So have at it. This is your chance to have your match reaction. I'm going to try and bite my tongue as long as I can. Because right now, if I spoke to you guys and really told you how I feel, I'd be in a world of trouble. The manager is a fucking spoofer. End of. He is not cut out for this job. He is not good enough for this job. He does not have a clue. Those players either are willfully ignoring his instructions or they don't know what's happening. But we have better players than we are seeing here. Couldn't string together passes. Couldn't deal with the physicality. Over and over. Wash and repeat. Over and over again. Same old, same old. You know, Canade had an awful game. And it's been the first in a while, to be fair to Canade, but he was awful. We got away with one for the second goal that they had ruled out. It was just appalling. Truly appalling. I thought those days were behind us. I thought we'd at least steadied the ship. That was shocking tonight, folks. Shocking. The only positive is we're only 1-0 down. And we could potentially turn this around at Anfield. But again, they've left themselves work to do. And Galatasaray, what are they going to fear us? We've played them twice this season. They've beaten us twice. Shocking. Right, I want to get to some of your super chats before I miss them. Oh, I haven't turned it back on yet. Sorry. My apologies. Super chats will come through now. There they are. Jaden said, I'm in Boston. I can find John W. Henry telling the sack slot. Our biggest sides used to be Sevilla and Real. Our bogey sides used to be Sevilla and Real Madrid. Now it's Galatasaray. Sack this coward, said Raekwon the chef. Branca said, I got up for this at 4:45 a.m. knowing what I was going to watch. I need mental help. No, what you need, mate, is a pat on the back and the well done. Because you're doing your bit as a fan. You know, and I always appreciate the sacrifice of fans who get up at crazy hours to watch this. But what's the repayment that you get? Another dull, underperforming performance. And it's just, it can't go on. It can't. Nobody I know believes in this manager. Nobody. Look, there's a reason why that Turkish team is unbeaten in Turkey. It's because they're a completely different team at home than they are away. 1-0 is a good result over 2 legs, trust me. It isn't, mate. Look, I get what you mean. And I have a lot of respect for Turkish football. Their fans are awesome. But come on, mate. That's not a Galatasaray team out there tonight that should have had the beating of us. Come on. If we play to even 60%, we should have won that game. But we were just second best in every area. And it shouldn't be a surprise. They knew what they were walking into. They knew what to expect. We were wasteful in the first few minutes. So, yes, I do believe we can turn it around in the second leg. But I expected better today, mate. I really expected better. Darren said, I've wrote this season off, slot out. Billy Beckner said, what the hell did I just watch? So frustrated with that. And thank you, Billy, for your membership with us, mate. Andrew Young said, Mamardashvili is the only one who played well. Nobody shows for the ball, so we go long to no avail. Players clearly don't respect and understand Slot. So I thought Mamardashvili was okay. There were things that he did that I think were rushed. Sometimes the players needed to play to his right foot. Made the saves that he probably should have made. So yeah, no big mistakes from Georgie in the game, but you know, even at that, we're clutching at straws, aren't we, to try and find a positive. I mean, at least he did take off Salah and bring Frimpong on. So at least he did make that difficult decision, but probably should have been done at half time. And we spoke about the Kirkes situation, and the very reason I said that I would have started Andy Robertson in that game was the experience factor of it. And Milos got drawn into a silly foul, and he picked up a yellow. And from that point on, it was always a matter of time when he would have to be substituted. But you know, usually we talk about a handful of players who've performed. Tonight was slim pickings for good performances out there in a Liverpool shirt. I'm genuinely trying to think through. I thought Gomez did okay. Yeah, outside of that, Ekitike put himself about, but yeah, I'm really struggling. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm genuinely struggling. Victor said, can't even blame Slot after watching our defenders. Well, I get where you're coming from, Victor. It was defending that was not good enough, but I still can blame the manager. Because what's the common denominator this season in all these poor performances? It's been managerial instructions. And what I really struggle with, Victor, is we went over there and we played like we were trying to figure it out in the first 45, like we didn't know what to expect. We've been over there this season already. We should have known fully how they were going to set up to play. And we didn't seem to have a game plan. And we were wasteful, I'll give you that one, mate. We were absolutely wasteful in possession. Couldn't string passes together. But here's the thing, I guess I'm holding on to the fact that a different manager would get more out of these players. Because if a different manager can't get more out of these players, Victor, we're in an even worse situation then, mate. You know, because somebody said in the chat, I think it was about Salah, that he's not playing well because he doesn't believe in the manager. And I guess you could take that out and apply it to anybody on the pitch. But what about the fans? What about the badge? What about the eyes of the world being on you as a footballer in the Champions League on the highest level? So even if you don't believe in this manager as a player, your desire to win the Champions League surely outweighs the frustration you feel with the manager. You know, the manager doesn't take away the ability to fight out there for balls. The manager doesn't take away the ability to do the right things in the right moments. And we were just so sloppy. So yes, the manager absolutely will and deserves critiquing. But we can't let the players escape with that performance either. Because they're better than that. They know they're better than that. That was just not good enough. James said, absolutely let down. This was 80% players' fault, 20% Slot's fault. How in God's earth did we not score early on? Wirtz needed to do better with that open goal. Sloppy passes from the back in midfield. Yep. Should have scored it, James. There's no excuse for missing it. Open goal from, 19 yards out, 20 yards out. And then he had another chance in the game, which was a tame shot as well. Yeah. It's... what's that? Masochism at this point, slow and weak. Yeah, it feels like torture, all right, except there's no sexual gratification at the end of it. Which ref was worse? The one in the league phase of this game? Not blaming the ref, just wondering about your opinion. I think they were both as bad as each other, Leona. Look, like you, I don't want to blame the referee in there because the referee did make us play appallingly, but he did give so many stupid niggly fouls. And again, we weren't in a rhythm, but we could have been. So I think the big difference between this and the first game is there was way more space in this. We had plenty of opportunities to pick them off. Now, call me stupid, right? If you're playing a team and the game is stretched, why aren't we bringing Rio on? Why aren't we trying to attack space in behind? Why aren't we trying to get their fullbacks on a booking? Why aren't we trying to do something proactive? Rio's pace would have petrified them. Some chances in that first half that dropped to Mo's feet, areas of the pitch that he could have taken a man on. I would have died to see Rio on there. So, yeah, just really wasteful. I'm so disappointed with some of those senior players, especially Virgil. Somebody said something during the watch-along. They said Hendo wouldn't let that happen. And he's right. Where's the fucking leadership out there? Our centre-backs are being owned by Victor Osimhen. Absolutely owned by him. Cal says it all, Craig, about how it is now. 18 months ago, we were saying 100% would smash them at Anfield. Now, be honest, do any of us think we turn it round? I might be delusional, Cal, but I still think we'll get through because the Anfield crowd behind us. But again, it's an indictment that we're taking a deficit into the second leg at Anfield. How many games has this tosser lost now? We'll carry on until he's gone. I want to say that this must be 11 or 12 off the top of my head. Maybe more. Can somebody let me know how many games of football we've lost this season? Because it must be virgin 12, 13-ish, around that number now. Billy, how are you, sir? Said, I'm so done with this rubbish style of play and this fraud of a manager. I can't watch this rubbish every week. I'm fuming and it's breaking my heart. Billy, I think you've perfectly encapsulated, sir, the feeling of so many of us. It feels like you're watching a car crash or you're watching a tragic event unfold and you can't do anything about it. We're just looking at this thinking, when is it going to end? When? It's soul destroying, Billy. You're right. And you're not alone, mate. So many of us feel exactly how you said there. And also, Billy, thank you, mate, for being with us as a member for 8 months. We had our chances today. Any other day we win that 3-1 comfortably. The football goals weren't with us bringing on Anfield. We had our chances. I can't argue with you on that one, dude. But it's nothing to do with the football gods. We missed our chances. You know, the football gods didn't shit the bed, we did. So you're right in that we had chances and we could have won the game. That's what Arne is going to say in his match reaction, I guarantee you. But it still doesn't change anything. We didn't. All that talent out there on the pitch and we didn't score once. Over 2 games against them away. So 13 losses, people are saying in the chat now. In one season. In one season. I don't remember that in my time supporting Liverpool. 13 losses in one season and the season ain't finished yet. He needs to go, said Andrew Jameson. I'm fuming. The man is an idiot. As a Man United supporter, I'm enjoying seeing your team struggle. How much longer does your board allow this to keep going? Keep up the amazing work, sir. Thank you, Robert. Truth is, Robert, I don't know. I can only think they let it go to the summer. But how bad is this to say, Robert? Cards on the table, full disclosure, honesty. You're nearly thinking, fuck, if we win the Champions League, this clown's going to be in the job. Now imagine fearing winning the Champions League, Robert. Imagine that mindset as a fan. And I dare say I'm not on my own saying that. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're fearful we win the Champions League because it means he could get another season. Let's be honest about this. Because that's where we're at. That's where I'm at anyway. I'm absolutely petrified to win the European Cup in case this clown stays on for another year. That's a horrendous thing to say. Samuel said, I've been supporting Arne Slot, but I've had it. He needs to go. I love Mo Salah, but it feels like we start with 10 men when he's picked to start. Loads and loads of thumbs up in the chat. Look, on the Mo Salah thing, I said it during the watch-along. It is actually heartbreaking to see there and watch the great man become a shadow of what we know he has been and is capable of. It's so tough because we don't know what's causing it, but we do know it's really, really sad to see. Because nobody wants to remember this version of Mo, and nobody wants to talk badly about Mo. Nobody wants to critique Mo. But, you know, we are way off the pace, and he's unfortunately way off the pace as well. And the most difficult part for me right now is that so many people feel the same. You know, sometimes I think to myself, right, Craig, you are critical, you are over the top at times, you are very demanding, and you've got ridiculously high standards. But when I see my fellow Reds from all around the world, from every different walk of life, whether they've supported the club 30 years or 1 year, everybody feels disheartened. Everybody feels like they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders. And it really hurts. It hurts as a human being, and it hurts as a Liverpool fan. This is one of those times where I wish football didn't mean as much to me as it does, because the highs are unbelievable. And when you're as invested emotionally in it as I and many people are, the highs are incredible. You know, you want to live them forever. But the lows, man, the lows in these type of situations are unbearable, and they're torturous. How are we getting worse? Cannot watch a game without your comments afterwards, Craig. Love from Budapest. Thank you. Love right back to you. And I hope we're in the final in your wonderful city. Come May, but I don't hold out much hope at the minute, Nori. But thank you. Very kind of you. Most of their team cramping. Gakpo comes on, not Rio. Yeah, they were cramping because those Galatasaray players left it all out there. They put in a real good shift. And, you know, fueled by their fans and fueled by their passion for playing in their stadium, yeah, they went out there and they put a real shift in. And, yeah, look, it's tough because when we're being critical of Liverpool, I don't want to try to belittle or undermine Galatasaray, because I have a lot of respect for them and their fans, but I'm so disappointed with that 90 minutes. It's just a continuation of the disjointed way we've played all season. Let's look at some of the numbers from the game. Possession-wise, Liverpool just about shaded at 54-46. Total shots, 15 for Liverpool, 6 on target. 15 for Gala, 4 on target. Dangerous attacks, the home side at 35. Liverpool, 43. Corner, 7 for Gala, 4 for the Reds. Total passes, 427 for Liverpool. Look at the pass and accuracy percentage. That's one of the lowest I've seen that for us this season at 77%. Galatasaray 356 passes, 71% passing accuracy. Can we just try to change something and play 3 at the back? Arna would argue that if you change the 3 at the back, it will disjoint the team more because they're not used to playing it. I'm dying for 3 at the back, and I'm hoping Alonso comes in, and I'm hoping that we get another centre-back in and that we can play it. But here's the thing, right? Question for you all. What do you think Arna's instructions were today? Because that's what's confused me a lot this season watching Liverpool under him is I don't know what the instructions were. I don't know what we were supposed to be doing out there today. I really don't. Like, whatever the game plan is, it's not coming through. Unless I'm an idiot. I can't figure it out. Matthew, Johnny said, Victor Osimhen is a great player, but he didn't even have to try today. We made him look like Drogba. We deserve less than nothing. I'm just tired. Yeah, look, he is a very good target man, and he absolutely owned our 2 centre-backs again. We give Victor his credit. He was put in a shift there tonight, but I don't know. It just feels like does this sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Go out there, have a shift first 45, go out there, second 45, and then 15 minutes of madness and trying something desperate at the end. Trying to find a moment. That's what this feels like. I used to sit there and, Adam, that from FUTV, I used to sit there with Adam, and Adam used to say to me as a United fan that they were Moments FC. That they did nothing out there that was connected, and they just looked to find a moment. That's what I feel we are right now. I keep going back to those conversations with Adam, and I keep thinking to myself, that's what we are now. We are a team that don't go out there with a clear game plan to try to find ways to get at the opposition. We just don't want to do anything dangerous. We want to keep the ball and hope from something, one moment, we can find a way. That's where I'm at with it. Angie, how are we, my friend? So I just want to cry. I'm sick of this shite. 13 losses, Angie, in one season for a Liverpool manager that spent £450 million. It's heartbreaking, mate, isn't it? Off topic, I didn't mean any hate with this, just simply curious, but am I a League of Ireland supporter? If not, why? I have a club, Shelburne, that I used to go to quite a bit when I was younger. The problem for me, Graham, is, and I probably should make a bit more effort, in all honesty, dude, but I'm kind of in a halfway house between clubs. So, where I am, I've got Wexford, and then I've got Bray Wanderers. They'd be the two that I'm in between. And I keep meaning to bring my son to more Friday night games and some League of Ireland games, and to try and get him hooked on it. So yeah, the truth is I should do better and I should watch more. But Shelburne will be my club, mate. What are both Endo and Grafenberch missing in the DM role? Well, I can't really speak to Endo because he was never really to come in to be an every minute player. But Grafenberch is now showing his lack of defensive nous. He's always been great at carrying the ball through the lines. He's always got a decent eye for a forward pass. But he's not a disruptor. He's not somebody that's going to sit back there and shield the back four. And maybe last season we got away with it because we still played in a way, and the league was being played in a way where maybe teams hadn't figured it out yet. This year, I got really worried when he set up at Newcastle that the manager's giving me more license to get forward. I don't want my defensive midfielder having more license to get forward, thank you very much. I want them back there shielding the back four. So, Grafenberch just isn't the six. And he never will be a six. Just because he's played there and done well in a season and is a good player doesn't mean we have to do it. And how many times under this manager are we talking about a player being shoehorned into a position that isn't their natural position? Szoboszlai at right back. It's frustrating. Roshi said the lack of on-field sniping between our players is interesting. Unlike Man United and Chelsea in recent past, there's player unity but no trust in Slot, in my opinion. All I know is, Roshi, mate, that this just cannot go on. And if the players... look, we as fans have to guess this because we don't see the AXA. We're not in there. We don't hear the dressing room talk. But certainly what you're saying feels not out of the realms of possibility. I don't for 1 second believe that there is a unity in that dressing room in support of the manager. I believe there's a split in there. I believe some players will want to continue and play from, and some players know we're absolutely just making it up as we go along. And it doesn't look like a unified dressing room. It just doesn't. Despite all the PR guff and waffle, and no matter how many times certain journalists and media try to talk about this relationship between Slot and the fans, it just doesn't exist. It's just not there. And it's not going to appear. Get Xavi and Gerrard in now. Give the team a boost, said Copwolf Gaming. And thank you, mate. Happy anniversary, a year with us. Can we send Barton and his golf club to see Slot? I think Mr. Barton has enough to be worrying about at the minute. Didinho said, giving Mo that contract was a mistake. I think we all knew it, but wanted to believe. The only way Mo would be effective is as a 10. Heartbreaking. So, I can't speak for everybody else, Didinho, but I can speak for myself. I have to say I've been surprised. You can go back when he signed the contract, and I said it over and over again. Mo won't be a player that gets the big contract and falls off. And I'm really surprised at it. And I don't think, maybe I don't want to believe it, but I don't think it's down to just not trying. I have to believe it's father time. Because if it's anything else, that's worrying. And I've said it over and over. Like if we're saying Why do I hate on Salah? It's not on. I'm not hating on Salah at all. But it is on. Let me ask you, do you think he's playing well? What you get on this channel is honesty. Hard-hitting honesty. When people do well, I say people do well. When people do poorly, I say people do poorly. And as much as Mohamed Salah has been incredible for our football club and will go down as an all-time great, this is not the same man. It isn't. And I'm not going to back down on it because I'm not wrong on it. And it's heartbreaking because we know what he's capable of. We know what he's done for us. But this season, and he hasn't been the only one, it's just so far off what it needs to be. So if you want to continue to defend the indefensible, that's up to you. But I'm not that guy. And the one thing I won't miss when Salah leaves, because I'll miss him, I'll miss what he's done for us, but I won't miss his little fanboys who have spent the last 6-7 years trying to make me out to be some type of racist or Islamophobic or xenophobic human being just because I dare criticise Mohamed Salah. Each and every one of them little fanboys can fuck right off because they aren't Liverpool fans. They're Mohamed Salah fans. I'm a Liverpool fan. I want the team to do well. I want him to do well as part of it. But I'm not going to bite my tongue when something needs to be said. Stevie Boy said Champions League is done. No chance we're shite. Well, Spurs have just gone 1-0 down there to Atleti inside 5.5 minutes. Llorente with the goal. We better go out and beat Spurs this weekend, said Keith. Davey Heat said, a bit out there, but is there not a reality where over the summer he turns things around, gets them playing again, given a year for the new players to come in, and threat is this is a transition year? I have thought about that, Davey. I promise you, mate, I have. But here's where I'm at with it. What we heard this year was transition year, new players in, teams betting in. Well, what's going to happen in the summer again, mate? We're going to bring in 4 or 5 players. And if the performances aren't there next season, you're going to get the same thing. You're going to hear that it was a shortened summer because of the World Cup. You're going to hear about the pre-season trip over to America. And you're going to see, again, players not brought in early enough in the window and the coach having to find ways to get them up to speed. So I promise you, I've thought about that and tried to consider it as a realistic option. But I can't see a world where we're not talking about the same things again. The transition of those players into the new team. Like, how long do we have to be in transition? Because this is his second season as a manager. They chose not to make transfers in the first year. That was a conscious decision. So then they have the cheek to say when they tried to do it all into one summer that it's a transitional season. Well, this is the second year. Wasn't a calm final 10 minutes as opposed to change from the Klopp philosophy. It was almost 90 minutes of chaos. Yes, but we thrived in the chaos under Klopp. That was we were at our best in those moments. Craig, this is the second time in a row that I haven't watched the Reds. I'm resigned to Arna being here till the summer, but F me, it's tough. I'll never not watch us, but this season I'm just never surprised by anything. Yeah, you just don't know what to expect. You tune in and hope every week. Ekatike can't. I don't know what that means, mate. He didn't have the greatest of games today. He put himself about, but he should have scored that 1-on-1. Look, we missed some. There was some goals left out there tonight. Definitely some chances missed, but yeah, I don't know. So Jermaine Pennant, yes, former Liverpool player Jermaine Pennant, said, "Okay, I'm done with Slot now. Played 65 minutes and man of the match last game. 87 minutes gone. Every single player's been horrendous and Rio has not come on. Please, anyone tell me, make it make sense." So, yeah, even Jermaine Pennant's pissed off that we're not getting an opportunity to see Rio. And, yeah, I said it as well. You said it. Many of you said it to me during the game. Why not Rio? Brad said, can't believe I'm saying this, but lucky I missed the game due to work. 3 games in a week with 1 and 2 losses. Questions need to be answered. 1 win, 2 losses, yeah. Invincible MC said, Slot is utterly clueless. We don't have a style of play. We still haven't addressed that 6th position since Fabinho left. Alonso can't come soon enough. Iron Director said, not sure what's going on with Salah. He can't even get past the defender anymore. Makes me sad. The part that really disappointed me today was he picked up the ball on the right-hand side in the first half. He's 15 yards ahead of him and he'd 1 defender. And instead of running at that defender and trying to take his man on, he held the ball up and held play up, looking for support to come. That, like 2-3 years ago, that would never have happened. Paul said, no unity because the way they're told to play. Again, I'm with you, Paul. I can't believe that these players are bad overnight or in one season. It has to come from instruction from the manager. Bradley Warren, how are we, Bradley? Said Galatasaray started the game playing like crap, and then we played a crap style for the rest of the game. Is that a tactic? If so, well played, Gala. I don't know, but they definitely started shakily. Were giving us the ball. We turned it over in possession a few times. Created some opportunities, but like you said, mate, nothing came of it. James Pearce said, defeat means that Slot boasts 62 wins out of 100 games in charge of Liverpool. No manager in the club's history has bettered that total in the first 100 games in charge. Slot level with Sir Kenny Dalglish. Wrong fucking time, James, mate. Wrong time. Wrong time to be putting that kind of post up. Because nobody gives a fuck at the minute. And that is just... Where's the critiquing? So, look... Fuck off is basically it. I don't care. I just don't want to see another 100 games of them. No post-match quotes from Arne Slot tonight is what's coming in as well. I mean, I know he probably has to post that, Pierce, because, you know, it's a factual thing. But God, read the room, James. Read the fucking room, mate. Genuine question. Does Trent stay if Xabi came in? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Yeah, it's something we've chatted on a few times, Paro, but yeah, I guess he can only answer that. It wouldn't have done us any harm with that regard, but I don't know. It's always the player's fault, isn't it? I'm tired. I don't know what that means. I think most of us are criticising the managers here, mate, not the players. Ashley said, can you give a percentage of how confident you are that Slot's gone in the summer? I want him gone. So let's just say for a second he doesn't win the Champions League. Let's say he even got to the semis. Then he's gone. That's his only hope of staying, is to lift the European Cup. Other than that, I'm pretty confident he's gone. And I'm not just saying that because I hope it. That's kind of what we're hearing. Curry's posted. Yes, that Curry's, the electrical shop said, Liverpool fans only just turning their TVs on after not realising it kicked off at 5:45 might be having the best evening possible. We're getting bantered by electrical shops now. My goodness. And a percentage-wise, Ashley, I'd say I'm at 70%. Red Skull said, transition people are saying, Jesus, it's not like the players are getting minimum wage. How long do you want to say transition? Yeah, where do we go from here? I'm with you. The transition stuff, 2-0 to Atletico now, by the way. The transition stuff washes for a few months. But we're now into, March? And we still look like we don't know what we're doing out there. So, yeah, I think sometimes, mate, there's a mixture of people who don't want to speak badly about the club, and I understand that. There's a mixture of people who don't want to call out a manager that's won a league. And there are some people that maybe genuinely think it can still be turned around. And I tried to take that on board, but I can't bite my lip and not say what I'm feeling, and it's just so far removed. 13 losses in one campaign. So we asked in a poll, do you think Liverpool will go through or progress next week? And 53%, only 53% say yes, 47% say no. Right, new poll. Do you think Slot can turn this team around? Because a couple of people have posed that question in the chat tonight, is there a world we're in the summer with a few additions? 3-0 to Atletico Madrid now. 15 minutes in and Spurs are 3-0 down. Holy shit. As if we don't absolutely trounce these on Sunday, I give up. This is so bad for Spurs, I don't know what to say. They're 3-0 down inside 15 minutes. They are gone. Gone. And if we don't destroy them on Sunday, something's up. Virgil van Dijk said, we created a lot of chances. We also missed a lot. I think we came close to scoring in the first half. It's very important to take advantage of these opportunities, convert them into goals. We played against a good team in a high-pressure atmosphere. And lost, Virgil. Again. Let's not forget that part. And lost again. He's turning into Arna 2.0, isn't he? It's just garbage. Just say it like it is, Virgil. It's not fucking good enough. You're the captain. Hi, Craig. I worry Slot's here next season. Honestly, Danny, and I don't say this lightly, and I've said it for a few times, if he's here next season, I don't know if I can sit through it. I don't know if I can continue, because this has been the toughest season I've had creating content. Not because we're not winning, but because of what it's done to my fellow Liverpool fans. It's been so hard to just come on and see everyone so frustrated. And like I said, I've been around the Hodgson time, and at least we knew what we were. We knew we weren't good. We knew we hadn't got the money. We're so far removed from it. Vicario coming on for Kinski now. Spurs have substituted their goalkeeper after 15 minutes. Ouch. That's fucking ruthless. 3-0. And he's been hooked after 15 minutes. Love Virgil, great player, but he's not a captain, said Paro. That just sounded like it could have come out of Arne Slot's mouth. Here's some quotes from Arne now. You play over 2 games against each other, and now it's half-time. They're 1-0 up. We can do better. I'm 100% sure about that. But even with the game we played, we had enough chances to score goals. We didn't, but next week we play at Anfield and our fans will be supportive of us. This was the situation for Galatasaray today. They had great support from their fans. Fuck off, Arne. How about that's the 13th game you've lost this season and you're out of your depth? I'd just love to hear him just once come out and say sorry. I'm sorry we weren't at it. I'm sorry we weren't good enough. It's on me. I'll be having words. Just once show that you've got something about you. Rather than just glossing over it every time with, could have done this, might do that, will do this in the future. You went over there twice and you've been beaten twice. So this knowing what to expect or it being a surprise that Galatasaray are up for it and their fans are right behind them at home is nonsense. You called that exact quote. Yeah, I did. I fucking told you. He's so predictable. Did I, told you he was going to say that. I knew it was coming. That's all he has, is excuses. He never has anything to say. Again, have you once heard Arna in a match reaction come out and say that we should have done this, I wanted the players to do this, they didn't do this? Never heard it. Never once heard the clown come on and go, they didn't do this. The plan was to do this, I wanted us to move the ball here, we didn't do this. No, he just comes in with vague bullshit nonsense. If I was the sporting director at the football club, he'd have been fired. He'd be gone at this point. It is just an embarrassment that we're still persistent with them. You can hide behind the "it's the Liverpool way" garbage all you want. But you can't say we have standards as a football club and then talk about the Liverpool way. You either want to win or you don't. And you don't get bonus points for sitting through and watching this garbage and not acting. Or said, fans were great tonight. He out travelling fans down tonight. He let them down. Is that what you meant? Yeah, again, Galatasaray fans are great. No denying that. But Liverpool's travelling fans are incredible as well. And, the players just didn't put in a shift again. Lucas Aid said, Slot is unable to tactically versatile against highly aggressive and high-paced teams. The Prem has shifted to a more old-school style of football and he can't adapt to it. Yep, and he keeps banging on about wanting football to be played in a certain way. But that game today was exactly the way he wants teams to play. And he wasn't able for it. Because they did not sit back and defend with a low block. You can't use that excuse. Nick said, hey Craig, I've been slot in and in the middle, but recently it's not been good enough. However, if we lose against Spurs at the weekend, then he must go. Oh, Nick, I can't. Even in this, I can't think we'd lose to this Spurs team. Yeah. And I do think we'll turn it round at Anfield in the second leg. But again, we're at the point of the season where it's the business end and there's not much wiggle room. So what we could have done tonight was go over there, played well, taken a lead back to Anfield, maybe grabbed another goal in the game. It's 4-0 now. (4-0) to Atletico inside 22 minutes. Sorry, yeah. I've lost my train of thought there, Nick. Sorry, mate. I was distracted by that Atleti goal. Yeah, we can turn it round, but what we could have done is gone over there, played well, won the game, come back to Anfield, gone a goal or two up, and then rested some people for the other big games that were coming up. But no, we don't get a chance to do that either. And again, he brings on Gakpo with whatever it is that's gone on in his arm, fracture or whatever it is. He's splitting his arm. And he thinks bringing on that instead of maybe Rio. Yeah, shocking. They should change the keeper again. Well, maybe they haven't got the old Arna know-how of having 19 goalkeepers on the bench. David said Spurs will beat us. Is that kind of season for us, mate? If Spurs beat us, he should resign immediately out of embarrassment. Lorcan. Hi Craig, disappointing tonight, but as a fellow Irishman, thank you for allowing us fans a voice and making us feel valued. We all appreciate you. It truly means a lot, Lorcan, mate. Thank you. All I can ever do, I get myself into a load of trouble, Lorcan, by just speaking out and being blunt. But I'm not going to gloss over poor performances because truly I believe we're better than this. I don't think we have a bad squad. I don't for 1 second believe we have a bad squad. So this is what makes it even more egregious to me, Lorcan, that we're playing so poorly. I'm in no doubt in my mind, mate. Absolutely no doubt what the problem is. It is Arne Slot. And I'm not for moving on that. I'm not trying to say the players have underperformed. They have. But the problem is the manager. He's a spoofer. He's a Mayfainer. You'll know what I mean by that, Lorcan. And he doesn't have any type of self-awareness. None. He just comes out with the same guy. I called that post-match interview before it happened. I knew what he was going to say. But you're very kind, mate. Thank you. My previous hopeful comment aside, Jurgen set the standards for the team, the fans, everyone. He created expectations. We don't outwardly see that from Arne. Where's the fight? Believers to doubters. You're right on the where's the fight. We don't go out there looking like we're chomping at the bit ready to go, do we? We don't go out there looking like we're going to steamroll anyone. BF4D said, Craig, on current form, do you reckon Wolves will finish above Spurs? Doubt Wolves will stay up, but Liverpool have to give us hope by beating them. Honestly, mate, what Spurs have done at the tail end of the season has been very impressive. And, they've beaten us. They've taken points off Arsenal, beaten Villa. You're giving themselves a chance. But whatever happens, it feels weird for me saying this, but they're playing for the manager. They're playing for the badge. They're playing for the fans. And it might be too little too late. But they've shown that you've got something about yourselves. And you've lost a lot of players. Spurs have pulled one back, 4-1. You've lost a lot of players and not really replaced them. So it's been tough for Spurs. I hope you can hold on to young Matheus Mane for another season, because I think there's a talent there and I think he'd be best served staying with Wolves for another year. Arshiel Gorky said, it's not that we lost, it's the dire performances. Yeah, I totally agree, my friend. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to wind this down as I go on to record the player ratings video. If you'd like to enter your player ratings, you can still do so and enter a giveaway to win a signed Kenny Dalglish frame shirt completely free. All you have to do is scan the QR code there on the screen or use the link in the description. That will bring you to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, where you'll see the link to enter the giveaway and the form for the player ratings and a few other bits and pieces. We hope to see you in there really soon. Our WhatsApp's grown towards 19,000 people, and it really is so appreciated from us, the support you give us. Also, if you'd like to get yourself something from thecollectorscorner.co.uk, which is a memorabilia site that I've been using for a long time, and there's some great stuff on there from the UFC, from the music world, from the acting world, from the football world. You can get 20% off with our code Anfield Agenda 1. Philip said, we sacked Rodgers 2 months into the season and we sacked Hodgson mid-season before that. 2 of the 3 of the last managers. The Liverpool way is an excuse. I agree it's an excuse. Now, he gets a bit more leeway because he won the league last year, but I still think we're into the realms of he's used up all that goodwill, Philip. So yeah, I'm with you. We should have been gone. Arne Slot said this, when they get a chance, they play as if it's the last chance in their lives. As for us, we sometimes act as if there'll be 10 more chances coming up. We need to learn this lesson. Oh, it's actually worse than I thought, ladies and gents. So the touchline have said, crazy stat, Liverpool have lost 14 games in all competitions this season. Out of 44 games, they've only won 24 games this season. Lost 14 games. That's like 1 in 2 nearly. Or 1 in 3, sorry. 1 in 3 almost. That's shocking. Here's some stats from StatMuse on Salah's performance against Galatasaray. This is, for anyone that's trying to say I'm a Mo hater and I'm not calling it as I see it, well, how do you argue with these stats? 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on target, 0 big chances created, 0 successful take-ons, 0 through balls, 0 crosses, 0 long balls. How do you defend that? I didn't make those stats up. They're stats from StatMuse, from Mo from this game. And some people have the fucking cheek to tell some of us that we're just hating on him. No, we call it as we see it, and he's been underperforming, and it hasn't been good enough. That is a shocking set of stats. Nothing has changed since the first game. Said Xbox is ex-gamer. Yeah. Except their frustration has increased, mate. Tenfold. Right, I'm going to go record the player ratings videos. There'll be a news video out tonight at about 10:15 as well, talking through some of the fallout from this game and, of course, some of the transfer speculation as well. So do keep an eye out for that one dropping later on. But enjoy the rest of the Champions League tonight, my friends. Thank you so much. Sincerely, from the heart. Thank you for all of your support tonight. It's really made what's been another tough night a little bit less difficult. So thank you for that. If I can ask one favour before you head off, do hit that like button. It really helps push the channel out there. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. But honestly, thank you. Appreciate you all.